Jason is having the worst week of his entire life. He's failed his classes, he's worked hard, but his boss is on him for missing too many shifts, and his girlfriend just broke up with him. Everything seems to be going wrong at the same time. He just can't do it. He needs a break. So he fires up his favorite slot machine on the crypto casino, and he uses his paycheck to fund a bonus buy. He begins the cycle of wins and losses that has plagued him throughout his entire adult life. But hey, at least he's not thinking about real life, right? Leo is having a bad week too. Despite quitting gambling over a year ago, he's still dealing with life's problems just like everyone else. His car just broke down, and his boss has been putting pressure on him to hit unrealistic deadlines. In the past, he would have surely turned to a slot machine to forget about his problems in his life, but now he realizes that he'd only be adding fuel to the fire if he did that. He decides to hit the gym instead. It's a bad day to be a dumbbell because Leo is about to take it all out on the shoulder press. Welcome back to our series on the 20 questions of gambling addiction. Today, we're delving into a crucial question that many of us might relate to on some level. Have you ever gambled to escape worry, trouble, boredom, loneliness, grief, or loss? Though it's a mouthful, this question strikes at the heart of why many people turn to gambling. Whether it's the thrill of the game, the hope of winning big, or simply a way to distract ourselves from life's challenges, gambling can become a really tempting escape. My name is Rob, and I'm a recovering gambling addict. I made my last bet on November the 12th of 2022, and now I'm making videos like this to try to help you avoid making the same mistakes with your life that I made with mine. Today we're going to be diving deep into this question, and I hope that you find this video useful in your journey. If you do, please smash that subscribe button and join this community because there's plenty more videos like this coming along. So what are the implications of using gambling as a coping mechanism? And how does it impact other aspects of our lives? Let's start by exploring why people might turn to gambling to escape negative emotions to begin with. Imagine you're feeling overwhelmed by worry or even grief. You might crave something to take your mind off those feelings, because even if it's just for a little while, you're going to feel a lot better. Gambling offers a temporary distraction. It's a rush of excitement that can momentarily drown out the noise of all of our trouble, but it can also leave us worse off in the long run. Jason is in a terrible spot. He spent the entire night gambling and didn't get any sleep. Now, he needs to rush and get ready for the day. He has a meeting with his dean to discuss his pending academic probation. He has 5 missed texts from his boss telling him that he needs to make it to his shift later or he's fired, and he sees that his ex has already moved on. It looks like another day of misery for our friend. Oh, and he also lost his entire paycheck gambling last night, so he'll need to skip breakfast today. Let's come back and check on him soon. Leo wakes up pretty sore from crushing that workout, but he's feeling like he's ready to have a better day. He's getting his car fixed up early, and later on he's going to meet with his boss and have a conversation about setting more realistic deadlines at work. Rather than feeling angry, he feels hopeful, and he thinks that he'll be able to solve his issues and ensure a better situation for the coming days ahead. As Jason just showed us, this temporary relief often comes with a steep cost. Using gambling as a coping mechanism can very quickly spiral out of control, leading to things like addiction and severe financial consequences. While Leo showed us that there's a better way of handling stressors and negativity in life without adding to our problems. Look, gambling addiction's on the rise around the world right now, and it's impacting people from every walk of life. Specifically though, the majority of female gamblers actually tend to fall into the category of escape gamblers. Many men do as well. But according to the National Council on Problem Gambling, 95% of women who gamble were considered to be escape gamblers. For women struggling with a lifestyle change, gambling becomes a way to pass the time, forget about other problems in life, and relieve boredom. The issue here lies in the fact that this escape will yield further consequences in your life if you let it go too far. And I certainly did. I have to imagine if you're watching this video right now, either you did too, or maybe someone you know might be struggling. But moreover, the impact of gambling to escape negative emotions isn't confined to the act itself. It seeps into every aspect of our lives, affecting relationships, work, and overall well-being. When we rely on gambling to cope, we're just essentially avoiding dealing with our problems. Instead of facing our emotions head-on and seeking healthy ways to address them, we numb ourselves to the reality of life with the temporary highs of gambling. It's just not sustainable. Jason lives a chaotic day. He handles all of his issues alright, but he just feels trapped. He can't see a better way of living, and everything seems so depressing to him. It just feels like nothing's going his way, and at the root of everything is the gambling. He wishes that he could go back in time and make it so that he never started gambling. If he does that, at least he would have the chance to deal with the crap life throws at him. Just then, it hits him. If he stopped gambling, things might actually get better. This was the very first time he had this thought in his entire life. Then Jason had another thought. How the hell do I actually stop gambling when it's all I know to turn to? Let's come back and see how he resolves this issue soon. Here's the thing, guys. Problems that you have in life don't just magically disappear. They can fester and grow and create a vicious cycle if we pair it with prolonged escape gambling. Eventually, this cycle will lead to a full-blown addiction where gambling can become the only thing we know how to use to cope with life's challenges. So if you've ever found yourself turning to gambling to escape worry, trouble, boredom, loneliness, grief, or loss, it's essential to recognize the implications. And it's not just about the money that you might lose at the casino. It's about the toll that it will take on your mental health, relationships, and overall quality of life. It is more than just money. But there is a better way. Jason Googles how to quit gambling, and he finds out about something called a support group. He looks that up, and he realizes that there's actually a support group meeting that night in his town. He decides that he'll check it out and see. Maybe someone there can understand what he's going through and understand the frustration that he's been feeling. Well, that evening he shows up to the meeting, and he is welcomed warmly by the leader of the group. The leader shares that he's had a frustrating week himself at work, and that his car had broken down. He said that instead of turning to gambling like he used to in his past, he decided to keep his body and mind active until he was calm enough to find a solution for the real problem. He shared that his car was actually an easy fix in the end, and that he was able to solve his work problems with an honest conversation, something he would have never done in his past. The group leader, of course, is our friend Leo. This was the first time in a long time that Jason had felt understood. He could relate to exactly what Leo was saying, and he could see the value in doing what Leo did in response to life's problems instead of making things worse by gambling. Jason finally felt at home. I have a feeling that things are going to go really well for both of our friends, as long as they continue to show up for themselves at these meetings. As Jason just showed us, there is hope. Recognizing that gambling is not a solution to our problems is the very first step toward recovery. I actually use a 4-step system in recovering from a gambling addiction that can be used by anyone to live a happier and healthier life, regardless of how far along you are in your gambling journey. Here's a quick overview of it. 1. Find alternatives for your time. 2. Limit your access to money that might tempt you. 3. Self-exclude from casinos and sportsbooks. And 4. Find a support group meeting to learn from the lived experience of others who have walked the same path as you. Now, this was just a very brief overview, so if you want a deeper dive into how to use this strategy and the ways that I've stayed clean for the last 470 days, then check out this video, and let's keep getting better together, one day at a time.